How's it going, everyone? This is Nunchucks, and welcome back to attempt number 2 at this next episode of Short Scary Stories. I forgot to switch the settings to Audacity, which is what I use to record this. I forgot to switch it back to the cat audio, which is the mic I use. It was on Vault Tec high definition audio, which is the computer's built-in microphone, which is horrible. But I'm kind of back. It's been a couple of days since I uploaded, mainly. So, basically, I'm just going to explain what happened. I'm just going to do the gist of it because I don't want it to make it, like, the episode seem just really depressing. But basically, I took a trip, like, an hour and a half away. It wasn't even planned. I didn't even know I was going to. It just happened. I went an hour and a half away, back to where I used to live, because my uncle has cancer. So I took a trip down there, and I spent a couple days down there, with my family. And it was quite heartbreaking, but, because I'd grown up with him. But I'm not going to really go into that detail right now, just because I don't want to like change the mood to a really depressing mood. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into this. Hopefully we'll be getting like the uploads like back to regular pace and stuff, because I've just kind of been going through this, and it's been kind of difficult to kind of balance family and then like recording and editing, and it's a little bit hard to balance at times, but I'm going to go ahead and get into this. I'm not going to be using that site that I was using last time. I think it was like a... hold on. I think I saw it, but I don't remember where I left off. It was Reddit. Yeah, it was Reddit. I thought it was Reddit. But I've got this other website. It's called 5 Shorts Ghost Stories That Will Scare the Life Out of You. I'm going to skip the first one. It's called The Puppy in the Basement. It's one I read previously. There was another one I saw that was in the 2-sentence horror story. But number 2, Nunchucks. Oh. Well, I mean, that kind of matches me right now. I have my sword with me. Yeah, I bought a sword. Um, it's like the weirdest thing, just to be so casual about it. Yeah, basically I had an Amazon gift card for $17, that was going to expire soon, so I kind of just went on Amazon, and I saw a sword for $27. I think it was 27, and so, yeah, I just used it on that. I'll put a link to the sword I bought in the description below. Oh, God. Nunchucks is this one. When my daughter was 2, I found her twirling paper tube towels tied with twine in the air. I asked her what she was doing. She said she was practicing her nunchucks. I was very confused, as she'd have no way of knowing what they were. I asked her what she meant, and she said that Adam had told her how to make them and showed her each night how to use them. She went on to say that Adam told her to practice because she may need to know how to defend herself someday. I almost freaked out, but asked her what Adam looked like. She said he was tall, blonde, and had blue eyes. She said, "Mommy, you know how he looks. You know him. He died of a heartache." I'm assuming it's supposed to be heart attack. I had to leave the room. You see, 4 months before she was born, my tall, blonde, blue-eyed martial arts pro friend had died of a brain aneurysm at the age of 27. She has not spoken of him since that day, so I'm not sure if I scared her with my reaction or if she had completed her lessons. This next one I'm going to skip. There's someone under the bed. That was from the short, scary stories. But that number 2 was pretty good. That's a good one to start on, I think. So someone under the bed. That's just the one where the father was tucking his get into bed, and and the kid asked to check under the bed, and he did. And Stephanie found like another hymn under the bed saying there's someone on my bed. It was just that one. I read that in the 2-sentence horror story. I keep wanting to say 2 second, or not wanting to. I am actually saying it. I'm not sure if you can hear that. You probably can. It is so windy out there, and it is howling winds, and it's dark outside. It's really cloudy, which is why this is the perfect atmosphere for me. But this next one's called The Chair. Is it like the chair is in like, they're talking about like their execution, or like, I'm getting a chair, or something like that, like the electric chair, or, perhaps I should read instead of rambling on the possibilities. When my sister Betsy and I were kids, our family lived for a while in a charming old farmhouse. We loved exploring its dusty corners and climbing the apple tree in the backyard. But our favorite thing was the ghost. We called her Mother because she seemed so kind and nurturing. Some mornings Betsy and I would wake up, and on each of our nightstands we'd find a cup that hadn't been there the night before. Mother had left them there, worried that we might get thirsty during the night. She just wanted to take care of us. Among the home's original furnishings was an antique wooden chair which we kept against the back wall of the living room. Whenever we were preoccupied watching TV or playing a game, Mother would inch that chair forward across the room towards us. Sometimes she managed to move it all the way to the center of the room. We always felt sad putting it back against the wall. Mother just wanted to be near us. Years later, long after we moved out, I found an old newspaper article about the farmhouse's original occupant, a widow. She murdered her 2 children by giving them each a cup of poisoned milk before bed, then hung herself. The article included a photo of the farmhouse's living room, with a woman's body hanging from a beam. Beneath her, knocked over, was that old wooden chair, placed exactly in the center of the room. And then after that it says, did it get colder in here? Or is it just me? That was great. That's actually, we're starting off pretty strong with these ones. I don't know if it's allergies or cold. The fluctuating weather makes me unsure which it is. Because we're in that part of the fall. Like, I'm not sure if it's like the same in other places, but the weather fluctuates like crazy. It'll be like 60 one day and then like 80 another, or not 80, like 60 or 70 or sometimes 50, or this morning when I got up it was 40. So I have absolutely no idea if it's allergies or if it's just like me getting a cold. But anyway, this next one is called The Ghost at Home. Last night, a friend rushed me out of the house to catch the opening act of a local bar's music night. After a few drinks, I realized my phone wasn't in my pocket. I checked the table we were sitting at, the bar, the bathrooms, and after no luck, I used my friend's phone to call mine. After 2 rings, someone answered, gave out a low, raspy giggle, and hung up. They didn't answer again. I eventually gave it up as a lost cause and headed home. I found my phone laying on my nightstand right where I left it. I was about ready to say, I think it's probably at home. I was about ready to say that, like when it said they didn't answer again, I was about ready to say that. I was going to do that after I eventually gave it up as a lost cause. I was about ready to say that, but that turned out to be the sentence where it says at home. But anyway, number 6. Super short ghost stories. Finally, something a little different. The Metro wanted to put together something spooky and that's the description. Why? Okay, you know what? Why did they put the description as a number? I suppose I should have guessed it by the title, but still, why'd they put that as number 6? Ooh, that was the spookiest one. The one about the gathering of short, scary stories. Or short ghost stories. That one's the most terrifying. What did I do? Okay. What is this? Oh. Fascinating. Okay. I just saw there's this thing called ghost hunts, and it's Halloween ghost hunts. Featured ghost hunts. Events on sale, not on stale. Fascinating. Okay. I'll just scroll through these real quick. What the hell? Okay. Here's a weird picture. It's a creepy one. There was all these hands coming out of the closet. Okay. I wanted to make sure. I like to kind of scroll through these. I didn't scroll through these ones when I usually do. I like to scroll through and make sure it's good ones. This one. Okay, we read this one. It was my daughter went to count. It was where where she where she was saying, the little girl was saying, guess how old I'm going to be next month, and she held up the 4 fingers and stuff, and then it ends with my wife and I have been up with her for almost 8 hours. She still refuses to tell us where she got them. That's how it ends. Okay, I read that one too. It's the one again, about the somebody on top of my bed. But that picture, though. I think that picture's creepier than the story. When do you mind? It's so distracting. Okay. I hate it when... Oh, come on. I read that again. Okay. Here's another one I read again. The one about the daughter screaming in the middle of the night, and then they're visiting their grave to ask her to stop. That was from the 2 sentence horror stories. Hell is the next one. How much time do we got? Okay, we got a good time. This next one's called Hell. Okay, just another quick scroll. Okay. I just wanted to take a quick look. Okay, so this one's called Hell. There was no pearly gates. The only reason I knew I was in a cave was because I had just passed the entrance. The rock wall rose behind me with no ceiling in sight. I knew this was it. This was what religion talked about, what man feared. I had just entered the gates to hell. I felt the presence of the cave as if it was a living, breathing creature. The stench of rotten flesh overwhelmed me. Then there was a voice. It came from inside and all around. Welcome. Who are you, I asked, trying to keep my composure. You know, the thing answers. I did know. You are the devil, I stuttered, quickly losing my composure. Why me? I lived as good as I could. The silence took over the space as my words died out. It seemed like an hour went by before the response came. What did you expect? The voice was penetrating but patient. I don't know. I never believed any of this, I uttered. Is that why I'm here? Silence. I continued. They say the greatest trick you ever pulled was convincing the world you don't exist. No, the greatest trick I ever pulled was convincing the world that there was an alternative. I messed up on that word. I'm like, alternative. There is no God, I shivered. The cave trembled with the words. I am God. Huh. Fascinating. Okay. Was this the one that I read before? Oh yeah, this one's the one from like the 2 sentence horror story. This next one, where you hear the mom coming in the kitchen. You you're heading down the stairs when you hear the whisper in the closet saying, "Don't go down there." I heard it too. That picture, creepier. They have creepy pictures on this website. Oh my god. Links in the description. Check it out. This one's the BuzzFeed one, by the way. Which I don't usually go on BuzzFeed ever. Pretty sure this is the first time I've ever been on this website. He stood against my window is what this next one is called. I don't know why I looked up, but when I did, I saw him there. He stood against my window. His forehead rested on against the glass, and his eyes were still and light as he smiled, a lipstick red, cartoonish grin. And he just stood there in the window. My wife was upstairs sleeping. My son was in his crib, and I couldn't move. I froze and watched him looking past me through the glass. Oh, please, no. His smile never moved, but he put a hand and slid it down the glass, watching me with matted hair and yellow skin and a face through the window. I couldn't do anything. I just stayed there, frozen, feet still in the bushes. I was pruning, looking into my home. He stood against my window. What? Oh. Oh. Okay, you're there. He's outside. Oh, so the guy was outside looking in. Like that, the narrator was outside looking in, and then the one with like the matted hair and yellow skin and face through the window was actually inside. Okay. Okay, this next one was another 2 sentence horror story. Don't be scared of the monsters, just look for them. Look to your left, to your right, and under the bed, behind your dresser, in your closet, but never look up. She hates being seen. Oh, yeah? Yeah, you there. How about that? I'm just gonna pull that out for random reasons. Wait, hang on. So I lost my phone again. Damn. That one came up again. Okay, this next one, it's from the 2 sentence horror stories again. Those he came home to his girlfriend cradling the child. He didn't know which was frightening, seeing his dead girlfriend or the stillborn child, or knowing that someone broke into the apartment to put them there. There's that one again in that picture. The Black Lagoon. I used to watch that, or not watch, read that book series, like when I was little, like Creatures of the Black Lagoon. Have you heard of those? Tell me if you've heard of them. I don't really remember any of them, but I remember I read a lot of them. That and like the Boxcar Children series. Those were like the two main things I read when I was little. And wind, shut up. Okay, that wind, it's annoying. Well, it's atmospheric and creepy, but to celebrate their first year in university, 6 friends went camping in the wilderness. After driving for several hours from the northeast town, they discovered a lagoon nestled beside a cliff ideal for diving. They set up camp in the woods nearby and spent the evening swimming in the warm, clear water. As the sun sank below the trees, one of the friends went up to the highest point of the cliff and jumped off, while the other 5 watched. Their laughter slowly subsided as they waited for him to surface. It only took half a minute for them to go dive in after their friend. Struggling and sputtering among the reeds in the lagoon, they searched hopelessly for him. Finally, they disentangled themselves and came up, but they never saw their friend again. Heartbroken, they returned to the city and passed a strange and lonely year, in which their only solace was the knowledge that they would return to the lagoon to honor the anniversary of their friend's death. A year passed and they returned to the lagoon as a memorial, but when they approached, they saw their friend standing there, head bowed. Excitedly, they called to him and began running towards him, but he didn't turn. As they got closer, they called him more desperately, but still to no avail. With joy, they ran towards him, but stopped dead when they saw not one, but 5 crosses on the water side. The last... Oh, that's how it... Oh! They were the ones who died, I think. Really? Is that? Yeah, I think... Yeah, they're the ones who died. Yeah, because the 5 crosses in the water, he was like, the person they thought died had put the crosses in the water and stuff and had his head bowed because he was honoring his friend's death, like all 5 of them. Okay, this next one. Oh, come on. Wait. What? Oh, yeah, I did read this one. 2-sentence horror story again, where like they had the dream was the alarm clock flashing 12:07, and the person was putting their nails through their chest and like the other hand like muffling their screams. Then they sat upright, believed it was only a dream, and then they saw the alarm clock read 12:06, and then they heard the closet creak open. Next one. 1001. The Moores are having a baby. I glanced up from the table, surprised. They got the okay? My husband nodded. The paperwork came in today, so I heard. He lowered his eyes in sorrow. Poor Joanna. She's only 53, I breathed. A bead of sweat dripped down my brow, landing on the cool concrete floor of the bunker. I tried to remind myself to be thankful for this place, this concrete tomb, but it grew more difficult each day. Perpetuum Technologies, the company that sprung up just in time for the largest nuclear war the world had ever seen, had designed the vault to sustain 1,000 people for as long as it took the surface to be inhabitable again. Exactly 1,000 people. Poor Joanna indeed. Oh. Vault Tec? Perpetuum Technologies. Also known as Vault Tec. So, is it the Joanna or the child that are being killed? Oh yeah, the paperwork came. Oh, they got the okay. So yeah, they're gonna kill her. Joanna's gonna die. I believe. Because they were saying poor Joanna. Or maybe her husband's going to die. I don't know. Which one do you think was going to get killed? Oh, I failed at suppressing a burp. A quiet cabin deep in... Excuse me. A quiet cabin deep in the woods. My wife was shaking me quietly. I looked around the cabin. The girls must have gone to bed. The fire was burned down to embers. My glass of scotch was still in my hand. Something is tapping on the porch. Then I heard it too. I grabbed my axe and lit the lantern. I opened the door expecting a raccoon or a skunk, but instead found a boy around 10 years old. He stared at me petrified for a moment, then bolted down the path of the woods. I gave chase. He was losing me, but I heard him tumble to the ground. I leapt on top of him in a rage. "Why are you knocking on my porch?" I screamed. My uncles told me to. He stammered. I was no longer angry, but confused. "But why?" I asked. "To get out of the cabin? To get you out of the cabin?" What? Ugh, these monsters are confusing. Okay. To get you out of the cabin. So something is tapping on the porch. Grabbed the axe and lit the lantern, opened the door. They found the boy petrified, but then bolted in the woods and giving chase. Okay, I have no idea. I was thinking that maybe the guy was on the outside, but no. No, the guy's on the inside. The guy was inside the house, and he found the child on his porch outside. So what to get you? Oh, never mind. It was just the way it was put on here. It was just the way to put you, or to get you out of the cabin is what the boy said. I thought the narrator did. I thought the narrator said that. Okay, it was just the way this was. It's just the way this is formatted that makes it look like. It makes it look like it was the narrator who said that. But anyway, this next one hang on. How many do we have left? 1, 2. Okay. Yeah, we should have. I was just wanting to make sure this wouldn't be like an hour long. I didn't want that because I wanted to finish this page, but I didn't know how many there were left. But this one's called First Words. Any day now, she'll say her first words. My wife and I have been playfully betting on what she'll say first, Mama or Daddy. I can hear my wife crooning over and over while she feeds her. Mama's little girl, Mama loves you so much. That delay on the much. Sometimes she's not even subtle about it. Say Mama, come on, Mama. I don't mind it, though. I still believe I'll win. When we first brought her home, she would scream and cry, and nothing my wife would say would calm her down. But I knew just how to hold her to help her fall asleep. Our daughter was Daddy's girl. My wife needed all the handicaps she could get. I sit our daughter in the chair. My wife and I begin babbling like chickens. Mama, Daddy, say Mama, who's Daddy's baby? I pull the gag from our little girl's mouth. Please, what do you want from me? Please let me go. My wife's smile falls from her face. With a heavy heart, I put the gag back in as the girl starts to scream. I take her back to the room, locking her in and shutting the lights out. When I return, I find my wife crying. It's okay, honey, I tell her. The next one will be better. I promise. Strange. I was not expecting. I actually, you heard, I paused at that. I was like, whoa. I did not expect that. Well, actually, I should have expected it. It's a short, scary story, not a family story. Some family and some child and stuff. Timekeeper is this next one. Ooh, time. Time travel. Science fiction. I am such a nerd. He had been given the watch on his 10th birthday. It was an ordinary gray plastic wristwatch in every respect except for the fact that it was counting down. That is all the time you have left in the world, son. Use it wisely. I thought he was going to say, that's all the time you have in your life. I was going to say, whoa. I thought he was going to, kill him or something. And indeed he did. As the watch ticked away, the boy, now a man, lived life to the fullest. He climbed mountains and swam oceans. He talked and laughed and lived and loved. The man was never afraid, for he knew exactly how much time he had left. Eventually the watch began its final countdown. The old man stood looking over everything he had done, everything that he had built. 5. He shook his hands with his old business partner, the man who had long been his friend and confidant. 4. His dog came and licked his hands, earning a pat on the head for its companionship. 3. He hugged his son, knowing that he had been a good father. 2. He kissed his wife on the forehead one last time. 1. The old man smiled and closed his eyes. Then, nothing happened. The watch beeped once and turned off. The man standing there, very much alive. You would think that in this moment he would have been overjoyed. Instead, for the first time in his life, the man was scared. Well, okay. Okay, so we finished. Um, we finished off. Finished off the last of the ones on this website. I've got the links for these in the description below. And the sword I mentioned earlier, if you were wanting to see which one I bought, because I have too much free time on my hands. So I just buy stuff like that. But that's good. It's a good thing. But anyway, those links will be in the description below. But anyway, that is all for this time. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to like and comment, tell me this is and Jeff. Also, be sure to share and subscribe for daily uploads. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.